What's going on, true believers? Welcome to another episode of One Shot. I am your host, Jacob, and man, another massive week. These comic book creators are working double time, it seems, to put out great content for us. Um, I it takes a long time to get through these books now. That's why I don't normally get these videos out around Wednesday anymore, uh, because I'm just trying to read through the massive amounts that they put out. But I made it through in a decent time this week. Let's go over what I picked up, shall I? First one I picked up was Spawn 323, and if you watched my last video, you were like, you already read that one. Well, I um, loved this cover. Absolutely loved this cover so much I had to pick up this copy. It's got the clown on it, and if you've seen King Spawn issue number 3, that cover might just look a little familiar. But with the clown on it, so much better. Had to pick it up. Just wanted to showcase that one. Let's start off with Superman 78. I am loving this series. I didn't think I was going to love this series. I thought I was going to like Batman a lot more. I like the Superman 78 a lot more than Batman. What is it, 89? This issue, we pick up where we left off with Brainiac. Brainiac is either going to destroy the world or take Superman. So Superman voluntarily gives himself up to Brainiac, and Brainiac is trying to keep him contained, essentially, categorized and everything, so he puts him in a bottle. Turns out that bottle is a city from the planet Krypton. And lo and behold, who is in that bottle? Spoiler alert, his parents. So he finally gets to meet his parents, and they're going to, in the next 3 issues, try to figure out how to get out of this bottle and stop Brainiac. And it looks like Lex Luthor is going to have something to do with it, because it looked like he planted something on Superman before he was taken to track him. And Luthor is like, nobody beats Superman but me, basically. And thought that was pretty cool. This series has been amazing. Sad to see that it's only going to be 6 issues, but I'm loving it. Bounty Hunters 17. This issue was pretty good. Action-packed. Not too much dialogue that I don't need to hear. Getting involved in people I don't care about's lives, which is exactly what I want from this series. But overall, this issue was amazing. The main character is on a Star Destroyer trying to escape. Other bounty hunters are working together to try to rescue him, but he is, in the end, pulled back onto the Star Destroyer from outer space by Darth Vader and the Force. Darth Vader fixes him up and is like, you work for me now. So I'm kind of interested to see where that goes, because Darth Vader using bounty hunters hasn't always worked out in his favor, but it's always cool when you see it. Batman Reptilian number 5. I believe this is the second to last issue. This series started out pretty good for me, but I don't know. I'm not really enjoying where it's going. It's only one more issue, so I'll finish it out. But it just kind of took a weird turn, with Killer Croc being, hermaphroditic and stuff. Which I know it happens in nature and stuff, but the way that they're doing it, it's just kind of weird. The artwork kind of took a weird turn for me too. I don't know. I didn't really like how they did Killer Croc. Batman's kind of, he's less the Batman you know, and kind of more of a dick, to be blunt. He kind of scoffs at people's misfortunes a little bit more in this book. which doesn't seem to be very Batman-like to me. But one more issue left. I'll finish it out. The Death of Doctor Strange, issue number 1. This is the second printing. When it came out the first time, I thought, should I get it? I wound up not getting it. Turns out everybody seemed to really like it because it was sold out everywhere. So I thought, I'd give the second printing a shot, see what all the hubbub was about. You know what? It wasn't bad. It was a pretty good issue. Not that the title spoils too much, but Doctor Strange dies. And I guess we're trying to figure out who killed Doctor Strange. At the end, a little bit of spoilers, who is going to investigate the death of Doctor Strange, but somehow another Doctor Strange. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good read. I don't know if the second issue has come out already or not, but if it has, I'll probably wind up pick up the second printing of that as well, because it was a pretty good read. Out of Body, number 5. So this story, this guy was put into like a vegetative state, more or less, and he's learned how to astral project. He's had someone help him with these powers and whatnot, so he can astral project outside of his broken body, and he's trying to figure out who, put him in this way. All the while, there's this demon who's got his followers trying to help him capture this guy's soul so he can feed on it. All the while he's searching for who put him in this state. This series has been really good. I think it's going to be... this is the last issue. We find out who did it to him, but it kind of is still left on a cliffhanger, so I have a feeling there's going to be another series with this coming out. I won't spoil the ending for you guys, but this has been a really good read. Out of Body. Darkhawk, issue number 3. So when I started this series, I knew absolutely nothing about Darkhawk, and this is kind of a soft reboot, if you will, of the Darkhawk series. It seems like the Darkhawk powers were passed on to this other kid, and this has been a really good read. I know all the jokes around the Darkhawk series, with issue number 1 over the years. Everybody turned it into a huge joke. Oh, Darkhawk. But this one makes him into a legitimate character, at least for me. His friend has been murdered, and now he's kind of on a revenge trek to avenge his dead friend. If you should probably hop on this one, because we don't know where this one's going to go in the future with the way the MCU is and the way they rebooted this. It could definitely maybe in the future become something MCU wise. We never know. But overall, this one was a really good series. Darkhawk. Soul Plumber, issue number 2. This one is just, I don't know, I kind of have to turn my brain off for this one just to make it through, and it definitely helps. This is just weird. It's just gross, and I kind of like it like that. This soul thing that he's exorcised from his buddy, which apparently wound up killing him, is an entity from another dimension, and he is now intrigued with humanity, and he's trying to become human in this book, and he winds up just like kind of Frankensteining himself a body. He starts pulling limbs off of people that are just walking around and making this body walking around. This series is just kind of goofy. It's gross. The artwork's kind of just a little, unnerving as far as, a little gross artwork. But if that's kind of your thing, if you grew up in the 90s with like Beetlejuice cartoons and stuff like that, you might like it. But I'll still be reading it. It's only 6 issues. Soul Plumber. Arkham City, the Order of the World. This is issue number 2. Even though it takes place in Gotham City and all that, Batman is not really a figure in this comic. We're more in line with the psychiatrist that is looking after what they call the 10-eyed man. He's got like eyes on his fingertips, but whether they're actually useful or not, we don't know. But he seems to have some foreknowledge of things that are happening and are going to happen that he can't really have. And his movements are kind of erratic. He's kind of a long, lanky character. But Azrael is involved, and he's kind of hunting in Gotham City again. This series is, I don't know, it's different. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I'm very intrigued by it, so I'll continue reading it. It's also another 6-issue mini run. But I don't know if I can recommend this one. I mean, read the first issue, see if you like it. But I'm still kind of intrigued by it. I don't know if I should recommend this to anybody. What I can recommend is Batman, The Adventures Continue, Season 2. I am loving this series. This is how Batman should be written. This here, don't bother. Don't bother with the main Batman series. Read Batman, The Adventures Continue. Because even though the artwork, I think I've said it before, it's the animated series artwork, this story is definitely written for adults that lived during that period and grew up watching the show. It's definitely not, I wouldn't say it's not kid friendly, like it's gory or anything like that, but it's definitely written towards adults. Absolutely love this one. The old mayor, who we've just found out in the last issue, is come back to town to try to become mayor again. Batman has had run-ins with him in the past, apparently, and doesn't like him. Kind of ran him out of town. And for some reason, he knows something's off with this guy now. And I guess he's kind of using Mad Hatter tech to kind of win people over. But this series is amazing. I can't get enough of it. I mean, every time it comes out, I have to get a copy. Unlike this one. Nothing's happening. Boring. Just kind of phoned in. The backstory, the second story that's in this book, uninteresting to me. I don't know what they're doing. I kind of wish they would take this universe and just blow it up and start again, because I don't like it. I don't like where it's going. Keep reading it. I don't know why. Because I like Tynion. I love Tynion's work on other stuff. He's just phoning this series in for me. I don't know. The Blue Flame, issue number 5. So this story has been confusing me a little bit, but I'm starting to learn more that these two things, the Blue Flame, who's being he's on trial for the entire human race, and he's also back on Earth in his kind of shattered, broken body at the same time, it seems. I thought it was like separate timelines, but it seems to be all at the same time. And I'm trying to figure out how this is happening. But this story has been pretty good. There's a QR code in the front of the book in every issue, and it takes you to a web page where you can listen to music done by this guy who it's kind of his impressions after reading the issue. So you can listen to a nice little soundtrack right while reading the book. It's quite nice. But I'm still intrigued with this. I want to know what's going on here. What's going to be the outcome of this trial? But overall, it's been a pretty good series, The Blue Flame. Don't expect like a superhero book in the standard sense, though. This is issue 1 of Dark Knights of Steel. I am quite excited to see where this one heads. I was not knowing what to expect when I read this one. Is this going to be just another, it's the Justice League, but they're in this time period? And in a way, it is a little bit, but not really. It's kind of a completely new take. Krypton, the whole Krypton is exploding thing. Superman's parents put him in the rocket. It lands on Earth. Turns out they're in the rocket with him, and they landed in the medieval times. So there's a little more, I guess you want to say, kind of a little more tech-looking stuff involved. Bruce Wayne is kind of a prince, I guess, and is sworn to protect the L family from magic users. In the Superman's family, they rule. But a little bit of spoilers here. Turns out that Batman is kind of a son of Superman's father. So they're kind of half brothers. It's just kind of thrown in there at the end. But the Green Arrow and the Green Lantern killed Superman's father. So that's kind of where the book ends. This series has been really good. It's going to be 12 issues. I'm excited to see what happens. I love medieval stuff. The artwork is amazing. The storytelling is really good. And this cover. I love this cover. Highly recommend it. And now I'm down to my last 3, and I could not decide which one was my pick of the week. So I'll start with The Silver Coin, issue number 6. It's the early 90s. You go to the arcades, you can see it, you can smell it probably. This kid is trying to beat the guy that works at the arcade in this fighting game. He can't do it, but he runs out of money, and he's walking the mall, and he sees the coin pond, and he grabs some coins, and one of them is the silver coin. He puts it in. He becomes the master at this game, and spoilers, he kind of turns into a monster while everybody's trying to kick him out, and he kills them all, and then winds up, in the end, he's sucked into the game as one of the characters. This series has been, really good, but I think the first issue and this issue are my 2 favorites I've read so far. This was amazing. Issue 6 of The Silver Coin. The Human Target. This guy, I'm not too familiar if he's been like a mainstay in DC or not. I don't know a lot about him. But he pretends to be you while... I think my camera's tilting. Sorry about that. He pretends to be you while, protecting you. He takes the bullet you were supposed to get, survives, but he has been poisoned. He's learned when he was poisoned, and it seems like he's on a trek to find out who's tried to kill him. But he thinks right now that it was targeted towards Lex Luthor. So he's trying to figure out who's trying to kill Lex Luthor. The start of the book, it's not too big of spoilers. He's kind of dying. He has 12 days to figure this out, and it starts at day 12, so we see him kind of die, we think anyway. And then it kind of backtracks. So this was day 1. I think this is going to be maybe a 12-issue series, each book being a day. But I absolutely loved it. The mystery, the artwork is great. It's very, kind of spy novel-y looking. And my tripod here is going crazy. Let me fix that. The artwork's really good. I mean, you can see right here how it is. I think you can see. Yeah. But highly recommend. I'm always on the DC Black Label stuff for the most part because it's always really good. And the last one is a Chip Zdarsky book. You know him, you love him. This one's called New Bern. So this guy, he's a private detective. So he used to be a cop. So the cops know him. They kind of let him into crime scenes because they give him information. He gives them information. But he doesn't exactly work for the good guys. He works for all of the major crime families in that city. So he has immunity, basically. Anything that happens to him, all the crime families are going to be after the person that did it. Because he's just the crime family investigator, period. So he finds out who, in this issue, what happened to this guy that was an ex-member of a crime family. And at the same time, he gets himself a partner in the end. Excuse me. Overall, this series is going to go places. I absolutely love Chip Zdarsky's work. Hop on this book if you can find it, because this is going to be huge and a fun ride. Absolutely. New Bern. All right. And I didn't really do too much dollar bin diving because, as you'll see soon, I had some extra expenses to pay for. It kind of surprised me, but one thing I did find was Defenders of the Earth #1. I guess this is a Marvel book. It says Star Comics, done by Marvel. You've got the Phantom. I don't know any of these other characters, but I thought it was really cool. Just a #1 of this team I've never heard of. The Defenders of Earth. And special stuff. I got stuff back from CGC. I don't know if you can see that, Darth Vader #3, the 3rd printing. This is the first appearance of Dr. Aphra, 000, and BT1. When I sent this in, I noticed that there was a little damage on the book, and I was a little disappointed. I thought the grade was going to come back a lot less than it did, but it came back as a 9.4. Still pretty good grade. There we go. Take the glare off a little bit. I also sent in a Venom 33, as you can see. This is the Gleason Virgin variant, and it came back as a 9.8. How beautiful is that cover? And the last one, I'm trying to still figure out if they labeled this one right. It's Amazing Spider-Man 55. It just says 2nd printing, but it is also the Gleason exclusive Virgin variant of the 2nd printing. Absolutely beautiful cover. It came back as a 9.8 if I didn't already say so. So now I've got these two, the matching set. Might get these framed and hang them up. That is all I have for you today. Thanks for stopping by, seeing what I got, what I thought about my books. Let me know in the comments section what you're reading, what I should be reading. Is there a series out there that I'm missing that I absolutely don't know about? Let me know. If you like this video, leave me a like. I'm always looking for more feedback, so if you got feedback, leave it in the comments below. I don't know what else to say right now. As always, thanks for stopping by. Join us next week for another episode of One Shot, and as always, have a good day.